Hi. Testing. 2. Do.
This is Choose Something Like a Star by Robert Frost.
O star, the fairest one in sight, we grant your loftiness the right. To some obscurity of cloud it will not do to say of night, since dark is what brings out your light. Some mystery becomes the proud, but to be wholly taciturn in your reserve is not allowed. Say something to us we can learn, by heart and when alone repeat, say something! And it says, I burn. But say with what degree of heat, talk Fahrenheit, talk centigrade. Use language we can comprehend. Tell us what elements you blend. It gives us strangely little aid, but does tell something in the end. And steadfast as Keats' eremite, not even stooping from its sphere, it asks a little of us here. It asks of us a certain height, so when at times the mob is swayed to carry praise or blame too far, we may choose something like a star to stay our minds on and be stayed.
Wasn't that a great poem? Yeah. Now our friends Ashley and Hannah are going to do a little interpretation of this poem.
Go!
Oh, star, tell me something. Anything. Just tell me something.
Oh, my burn.
Well, how hot? Well, I guess it's cool that you're there. You look good.
Thank you, Hannah and Ashley.
Now we're going to explain what they were really showing. The speaker of this poem was searching for a meaning from a higher being,
AKA the star,
which is personified as a higher being. This is a little ironic because the speaker wants to know something. He wants to learn something from the star, but he's not really sure what he even wants the star to say.
Yep.
Now, there might have been a few words that you were unsure of in the poem, but I've taken the time to look them up so I can explain them to you. For instance, taciturn in the first stanza means reluctant to join conversation. Another word you might not be familiar with is centigrade in the second stanza when the speaker says, talk Fahrenheit, talk centigrade. Centigrade is just another word for Celsius. It's just as easy as that. As for Keats' eremite in the third stanza, not only is eremite another word for hermit, but that is also an allusion to John Keats' poem, Eremite, which pretty much talks about a blissful moment that he has with his lover that he wants to keep forever and wants to stow away like a hermit in civilization. This, in the poem, would be describing the star's constant place in the sky for us to focus on in different times. So that's an allusion and a new word that you just learned.
Okay. The last line of the poem is to stay our minds on and be stayed. Now, this is a play on words. For the first stay,
S-T-A-Y,
means like comforted, and the second stayed,
S-T-A-I-D,
means old-fashioned or unadventurous. The tone of this poem at the beginning is a little dark as he is confused and searching for that answer. But towards the end, he becomes a little more understanding. So it like brightens up a little bit. It's not as dark as before.
Melissa's going to go ahead and read it one last time to make sure you guys caught anything you didn't catch in the first time.
O star, the fairest one in sight, we grant your loftiness the right. To some obscurity of cloud it will not do to say of night, since dark is what brings out your light. some mystery becomes the proud. But to be wholly taciturn in your reserve is not allowed. Say something to us as we can learn by heart, and when alone repeat, say something, and it says, I burn. But say something with what degree of heat. Talk Fahrenheit, talk centigrade. Use language we can comprehend. Tell us what elements you blend. It gives us strangely little aid, but does tell something in the end. And steadfast as Keats' eremite, not even stooping from its spirit, it asks a little of us here. It asks us of a certain height, so when at times the mob is swayed to carry praise or blame too far, we may choose something like a star to stay our minds on and be stayed.
Excellent. Wait! I have one last thing to say. Choose Something Like a Star by Robert Frost is the best poem I have ever read. Ta-da!
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Why don't you break out the song?
1, 2, 3.
This girl is on fire.
So, a dear
Okay, stop. Let's go.
female
Let's go. You
dear
don't have time to
ray, a
Go.
drop of golden sun.
All the boogers are going to be if you dance.
Alright, go.
Oh, stars.
Bring us some figgy pudding now. Bring us some figgy pudding.
She got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, she got her head in the clouds and she's not backing down.
Like explain what it means in the stanza, 'cause I'm not sure. 95 sitting on 25 mil. I'm in the building, represent myself. Rest in peace, actually. I'm gonna do it to the day.
Hey.
Okay. And, my team's good. We don't really. Okay, let's go. Seriously though. And a happy new year.